G'day guys, Jacob and Benny here from Airbag Man. Today we've got North Lakes Painting's Ranger PX2 in the shop today. It's going to have a set of airbags and a full onboard air control system installed to it. Now, Barry carries a fair bit of weight in the back. He's got all his paint, his tools and stuff like that, so it's making the rear of the vehicle sag. So with the standard airbag kit, we've got the two manual inflation valves, so they're going to be mounted to the rear of the vehicle. But because Barry's got a fairly varied weight majority of the time, every single day of the week, we're going to hook him up with a wireless control system, so a full onboard air supply system. He's going to be able to level the vehicle out with a push of a button through a wireless controller. Benny, do you want to give us a rundown on the full system?
Yep, so what we've got here, we'll start with the airbag kit. This is a full bolt-in, no drilling required. This will come with the manual inflation valves. Then moving on to the air control, you get your wireless remote, receiver and valve block. As you can see, we've mounted that on the 2-gallon tank bracket, which this is specific for PX1 and PX2 Ranger. We've also got the compressor mount as well. With that one, the 200 PSI compressor, that'll be maintaining 150 PSI in the 2-gallon air tank. And then you get all your air lines, fittings, wiring, everything you need, along with your digital gauge, which you can option it for an analog gauge as well if you prefer.
We've also got a tyre inflation coil and wand, so not only is Barry going to be able to inflate and deflate his airbags with a push of a button through a wireless controller, he can also use the inflation coil and wand to be able to pump the tyres up as well, so that's going to be pretty handy when you're going on your off-road tracks and that type of stuff. Shall we get into it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Now that the Ranger's up on the hoist ready for the airbag install, we thought we might point out just where the suspension's been bottoming out. You can see here the rubber bump stop's actually made contact with the striker plate on the chassis, and there's a nice polish section. This airbag kit will prevent bottoming out, maintain a level ride height and eliminate the spring sag.
Now, we haven't gone into too much detail with this airbag install because we've already done it in previous videos. So we'll pop the link in the description below for you so you can check that full install out. The main focus today is to show you the full onboard air control system that we're going to put on this vehicle. So the compressor, wireless control, air tank, all that type of stuff. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see. So we'll get straight into it.
So what we have here is the compressor mount we spoke about earlier. This one's designed to fit off the side of the chassis rail up underneath the passenger's side. We're going to modify it a little bit, so we've trimmed a tab off here because we're going to mount it up underneath the tray so it's a bit higher as they're going to be going off-road and on the beach, stuff like that. Let's show you how it fits up.
Everything you said we already knew, more or less.
Well, here's something that you didn't know. 2 of those special atomic bombs haven't gone off.
There we have it. The air compressor is all in position under the tray. It's now time to move on to the air tank, the wireless receiver and valve block, and we're going to secure it all with the air tank bracket. Let's bolt it in. Now that we've got all the major components mounted at the rear of the vehicle, it's time to mount the digital gauge. We're going to be using one of our pods and we're going to mount it in the glove box. Now the gauge has been mounted in the glove box and all the air lines and wiring's all hooked up, ready to go. It's time to perform a leak test and do some finishing touches.
Okay guys, as you can see here, Benny's just doing the finishing touches of the airbag and the onboard air control install. So he's mounted the gauge, the compressor, the air tank, the tyre inflation facility, all the wireless control components. So all we have to do now is show you how it works. Let's do it. Barry's rig's ready to go. He's got the airbags on there, he's got the onboard air controls. Now, as we said at the start, he's got varied loads most of the time with all his paint and his tools in the back. So for ease of adjustment with this wireless controller, you can individually adjust the airbags to level the vehicle out nicely. So with a push of a button, let's show you how it works. Nice and simple. So what else is pretty cool about this system, Benny?
Yes, you've also got access for tyre inflation. You can also use some light duty air tools, blowguns, stuff like that. So in the kit you'll get your tyre inflation, your air coil, and you get a remote mount coupling as well.
Yeah, nice, cool. All right, there we go guys, thanks for watching. Now remember, bag it with the best.
Level up, about to step a level up.